All right, we're gonna start off with our little yoga flow. So jump up and stand at the end of your mat for me. Soft knees, long arms, chin to chest. Achilles, don't. Come on. Chin to chest. And we're gonna spinal roll down to the floor. Hang nice and long. Let your head go. Little side to side sway. I want you to roll up one vertebrae at a time, making sure your head is the last thing to come up. Once you get up to the top, big rolls of the shoulders. And then reach the arms up overhead, pop right up onto your toes. Achilles, oh Jesus. One of those days. I'm gonna get him his own cooler box. On that one, either. Reach right up onto the tippy toes. And then soften back down onto the floor. Drop that chin again and rolling back down. Start swaying again for me. Little nod and shake of your head. Then hands to the floor. Walking forwards into a plank. And up into downward dog. Stretch the hips right up to the sky. Pop up onto your toes and then drop the heels back down to the floor. So kind of like you're doing a little calf raise. Alternate bending and straightening at the knee. I want you to lift your left leg into the air, into three-legged dog, and then open that hip. Drop your heel out to the side. Right up onto the toe of your right foot. Back to the three-legged dog and step that foot back down. And we'll swap onto the other side. Lift that right leg up. Open that hip. Drop your foot down towards the floor behind your body. Straighten up that leg again. Bring it back to the ground. Roll your body into a plank. Drop your knees to the floor. And we're going to go into cat-cow. So just find your neutral spine. Start by taking an inhale. As you exhale, scoop the belly button up to your spine. Tuck your pelvis. Press the shoulders apart and look at your thighs. Inhale into your belly. Drop your belly button to the floor, eyes forward. Exhale, scoop the belly button up. Inhale, drop back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. And once more, exhale, lift. Inhale, down. And finding neutral spine, so just relaxing the back again. We'll go into our lateral flexion. So I want you to open your ribs to the right hand side by pushing your hips and shoulders to the left, looking over your left shoulder, back to center. Press the ribs out to the left, look over your right shoulder, back to center, and just like this. Nice and slow. Back to neutral spine. We're going to take our right hand, feed it underneath our left shoulder and drop our right shoulder to the floor. We're going to take a couple of breaths here. As you inhale, lift back up. And then exhale, continue that rotation until your hand is pointing up to the ceiling. Couple of breaths. Back to 4 point. And swapping, feeding that other hand under the right shoulder. Drop that shoulder down. And a couple of deep breaths. On your next inhale, lift back to center. And then exhale, follow that arm through. And breathing at the top. Take your hand back down onto the floor. I want you to step your knees out wider now and tap your feet together. And then push back into child's pose, stretching the hands forward. Drop your head to the ground, and we're going to stay here for about 30 seconds. Breathe right down into your belly. Reach your left hand over to the left side. Place your right hand on top and press into that right hip. So you should be feeling a stretch down the right shoulder, right back, into the right hip. Gently scooch the hands all the way across to the other side. Right hand reaches over to the right hand side. Left hand reaches on top. And relax. Back to center. All right. We're going to keep our body in this similar position and transition into a froggy. So I just want you to lift your hips back up off your heels. Open the knees out as wide as you can. You can keep your toes pointing towards each other. And then staying up on the hands, press your hips back towards your heels. Now we're opening up into the hips. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Eyes just looking on the ground in front of you. Really exaggerate your breathing for me. Drop down onto your forearms. Keep your hips in the same position. Every breath just tells your body that it's okay to start to release and relax. And you'll be able to get a little bit deeper into the stretches. So if you're feeling really tight and tense, just make sure to breathe really deeply. We're going to gently start to pulse backwards and forwards. So pushing our hips back towards our heels and just lifting them forwards again. It doesn't have to be a massive movement. Gently start to bring your thighs back together. Little bit by little bit. Oh my gosh, I've got tight hips. This is not comfortable. I feel like an old woman. All right, sitting up on your heels, just gently rock side to side. All right, flip onto your bum. Literally have to lift my right leg up. Hip is not responding. Okay, I'm gonna go into a butterfly. So soles of the feet together. Try and get your knees and shins in a straight position so they're at one level. Toes are here, knees are outside. Grab your toes with your hands. Sit up really tall. Drop the knees out to the side, and you can either stay here or you can pull on the feet to drop your chest forward. Just make sure that as you're dropping your chest, you're holding onto that good posture. So it's like we're trying to get our sternum to reach in front of our body on the floor rather than dropping it straight down towards our feet. Think about aiming your chest about 1 meter in front of your feet. Gently sitting back up for me. Lift the knees up and plant your feet. Oh, ouch. Hug your knees into your chest. And just a little rocking side to side, just to let the hips know they're in a safe space. You're fine. The pain is temporary. Okay. I'm going to go into a 90-90. So make sure you're set up in that 90 position. So there should be a sort of thigh length gap between that front heel and front knee. Lean back on your hands. Sit up nice and tall. Keep the feet touching the floor. Rotate the feet flat. And then off to the other side. So you want to try and, as much as is possible, keep both your bum cheeks on the floor. So as you get into the sort of extreme of the rotation, the back hip's going to want to lift. That's okay if it lifts a little bit. We just don't want to shift all our weight forward. So you can sit both bum cheeks down and just have that top knee lifted slightly if you need to. Just in your own time, at your own pace. I'm going to do a few rotations here. Keep it slow. If you're finding one particular spot is really tight, just sit into it for 5-10 seconds. Rock your feet back to center. All right, we're gonna awkwardly flip ourselves into a squat position now. So you can have your feet out as wide as you need, and we're just gonna plop the hips down. You can probably be able to get a bit lower than I can today. Really just let your hips go. And then I want you to rock side to side, and you can start lifting that one heel up. Sit in the middle, let the hips sink. A little bit of a rock again. All right, just come into a kneeling position on the floor. We're going to go into pigeon pose now. So we'll start with our left foot forward, right leg extended. So left foot forward. Oops, I lost my little toe stretcher. Step that right leg back. Try and flex this left foot a little bit. You can even pop a hand there if you need to. And then down on the forearms. And we're just going to relax. Look down towards the floor. You can pop your head on the ground if you want to. We're going to chill here for about 30 seconds. Think about keeping your hips square to the floor. So make sure that your weight isn't tilted off to the left-hand side. You should feel an even amount of weight all along your shin, your left shin. Place your hands to the floor now and lift the chest up. So again, we're trying to keep our hips square to the floor. Alright, sitting back on your bum. We're going to go back into that 90-90. Leaning back on your hands. Slowly rotating side to side. And again, if you find that spot that's a little tighter than the others, just sit there for a minute. Concentrate on keeping your shoulders and your chest square, so facing forwards. Rotate so your feet are flat again for me. And we're going to go into that right pigeon pose. So drop that right shin to the floor. Just swivel so your left leg can be extended back behind you. Popping down on your forearms. Remember, you're trying to flex that right foot as much as you can, so you can pop a hand there for support if you need to. Pop your head down on the floor if you can. Refocus on your breathing. Hands to the floor, lifting up through the chest. Remember, make sure you aren't tilting all your weight off to the right. Alright, gently coming up out of that one. And we're just going to hug our knees into our chest and roll on our back a little bit. So you can make some circles, you can just stay in that tight sort of ball. You can rock side to side, whatever you want. We just want to relax that lower body a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of upper body now. Rotate so you're lying flat on your tummy. We've got 4 more stretches to do. So we're going to go into scorpions. I'm trying not to kick my TV or my cat. I'm kind of boxed in. All right, hands either side of your chest. You can pop your head on the floor, lift that right leg up and reach and tap it up nice and high. And then back to center. Lift that left leg, reach it up, tapping nice and high. Keeping both hands on the floor. Just rocking side to side. All right, rock back to center. Keeping your hands either side of your chest. You're just gonna lift into an upward dog. So legs are nice and heavy to the floor. Belly button to spine. If this is too intense, you just pop into a half cobra, baby cobra? I don't know the yoga terms, but a mini version. Your arms stay bent. Otherwise, lift all the way up. Shoulders relaxed, eyes forward. Right, gently lower back down. You can either repeat that baby cobra, or if you want to, you can grab your feet with your hands and lift up a little bit. So I was trying to find the name of this, I can't remember. But basically balancing across the hips, eyes looking on the floor about a meter in front. Gently lower back down. And we're going to do a similar thing, but basically the reverse. Scooch onto your back. I'm going to do happy baby. So grab your feet. Knees are out nice and wide. I'm going to basically in my armpits. Soles of the feet pointing up to the roof. Really breathe deep into this. Gently bring the knees together. Hug them into your chest. A little bit of a roll through the ankles here. Just move the feet. Flex and straighten at the ankles. Point the feet and flex them back to the shins. Alright, last one. We're going to gently come back into our kneeling position. Hook your right hand between your calf and your hamstring. Sit up really tall and then drop your left ear to your left shoulder and sort of press into the right hips a little bit. And you should be getting a nice stretch down the neck. You might even be feeling like a little bit of a nerve pull. That's okay. Nerves can stretch as well. Really relax. Check that your face is completely relaxed, so let go of any tension in your jaw. Shut your eyes. Lift your head back upright. Turn and look to the left. And then tuck your chin down into your collarbone. Gently come back upright out of that. We'll go to the other side. So left hand hooking in. Sit up tall. Drop your right ear to right shoulder. And tilt off onto the left hand side. Shut your eyes down, relax your face. Gently lift upright, turn your head to the right, tuck your chin into your collarbone, and tilt the hips off to the left again. Gently coming up out of that one. Okay. All done there, guys. Hope you feel nice and stretched out.